What do we got here?
An old Dodger Stadium chair.
Oh, the biggest team in America.
Oh, really? What's your favorite team?
San Francisco Giants, man.
They're even worse than we are, man. Come on, please.
No one's worse than the Dodgers. The Giants just won the World Series.
All right, guys, please don't tell me I'm gonna have to break up a fight here.
Might have to. I came here to the pawn shop today to sell my Dodger Stadium chair. I just love going there. Dodger Stadium is one of the oldest stadiums around. I was looking to get about $300 for it, taking my son to Disneyland, want some extra cash.
So where'd you get this, man?
In 2007, when the Dodgers remodeled their stadium, I went up there, saw this whole pile full of chairs, and I'm like, hey, can I get one? And they're like, sure, no problem, we're throwing them away anyway.
Think about the lucky fan that got to sit in this chair and watch the Giants just crush on the Dodgers.
Come on, please.
I mean, it's a historic baseball park. Sports Illustrated at one point said it was America's best baseball park. Baseball stadium seats have actually become a real big collector's item because not only do they look cool, you can actually set them up in your house and use them. But there's a couple details that can make these seats really valuable or total junk. Any idea how much you want for it?
Looking at $300.
Okay. You got any plates or anything with it?
No.
The ones that are worth a lot of money are branded. There should be an official MLB tag of it becoming merchandise and not just a fancy. And since you don't have that, we have absolutely no way to prove what it is. You know, if they would have put the Dodger logo on the back of it, something like that, all day long, you're looking at good money. With it just being a plain Jane stadium seat like that, then I'm not gonna even be able to make you an offer on it.
You can't give me like $50 for anything?
I can't give you $50 for it. Sorry, we couldn't make a deal, man.
All right, Giants still suck.
That's why you didn't get no money for your seat.
How's it going?
Pretty good. I have an item I think you might be interested in. It's a 1988 Olympic gold medal from the Seoul Olympics.
So where'd you get it? Obviously, you didn't play for the basketball team.
No. I like the Olympics because it's an event where everybody comes together and it has recognition all over the world. I think it's just the coolest thing to have. I bought the medal for about $13,000 and I'm hoping to get about $18,000 at the pawn shop.
What do we know about it?
Well, I know that they usually engrave the side, so there's no engraving on the side, so that probably means it's for a tie break.
Not necessarily. I've got a few right here with nothing on the side.
Okay.
And I actually got those from the guy who won them.
Okay.
So we have no idea where it came from.
I know that it's just from another collector.
Okay. What you have here is something kind of interesting, man. I wish you had more of a story to go with it. This can be a sample, or it could literally be Carl Lewis's. No one's gonna know.
Is there any way to find out who owned the medal and maybe the story behind it?
Not really. You know, I've dealt with it before. It will drive you crazy trying to figure it out. When it comes to sports collectibles, an Olympic gold medal is one of the coolest things out there. But it really matters who it belonged to. It could have been one of the 36 won that year, or it could have been one that never was handed out. Without a story behind it, it's hard to guess a price. Do you mind me asking what you paid for it?
Well, I paid about $13,000 for it.
Paid $13,000 for it.
Did I pay too much?
It's really one of the only major sporting events that you can own the biggest trophy. You know, you're never gonna own the NBA championship trophy. You're never gonna own the World Series trophy. You can actually get a hold of an Olympic medal, you know, and it will be the prize of any sports collector's collection.
Okay.
Olympic medals from this year have sold for $80,000. There's also ones that have sold for $5,000. But you don't have the full story with it, and the money in these is in the details. That being said, what are you looking to get out of it?
I was looking for about $18,000.
I'm not gonna pay that. I'm not gonna pay anywhere close to it simply because I don't know what it's from. If you wanna sell it to me today, you're gonna take a $3,000 loss. I'll buy it for $10,000.
Can you move up a little bit, or is that price firm?
$10,000's a lot of money for it, man. I'm not gonna pay you anymore.
I was hoping to at least break even on the item, so.
You know, I think you paid a little too much for it. You kind of took a leap of faith there.
Okay.
All right, so it's up to you. $10,000 is what I'll pay.
I really don't want to take a loss on it, so I think I'll hold on to it and maybe do some more research.
All right, man.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. I thought the offer was pretty fair, considering that we don't know who the athlete was that won the medal, but I'm going to go home and try to do some more research and figure out more details.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good.
What do we got?
I got a 1967 autographed Chicago Bears football.
The Bears!
That's right. Hi! I came to the pawn shop today to try to sell my football. Money would be just a nice little bonus from holding on to for 45 years. I'm putting it at $10,000 mark.
So how'd you get it?
My uncle gave me the ball. It was given to him by Ronnie Bull, a Chicago player, at a banquet. You can see him handing it there.
60s pro football wasn't at the level of college football yet. I mean, if you would read some of the programs they had from the games, there'd be giant ads talking about, could local businessmen in the area please give the players jobs during the off-season so they don't have to leave town to find work.
Right.
It isn't like today where this guy would be at a minimum making $4 million a season.
Right.
There's a story about a guy on the Packers who would actually come and do the maintenance on the field during the off-season. This is cool because it comes from a time when pro football was just starting to explode in popularity. And back then, those guys didn't have all the protective gear they have now, so those guys were grinding it out all season long. So this one should have Dent Buckus or...
Yes, he's on there. The big name to me is George Halas because this is the last year that George Halas was a head coach. And he started in 1920, and this is 1967.
I mean, he was pretty much one of the guys that helped start the NFL into what it is, right?
Sure was.
And it's got Gale Sayers and Brian Piccolo on it, right?
Both of them.
Those are pretty desirable. Brian Song, the movie, everybody knows it. I mean, it's a huge movie. Brian Piccolo gets cancer, and it's about him and Gale Sayers' relationship. Brian Piccolo's signature is pretty rare. He died at the age of 26 and became a legend because of his story. Pair that with his friend Gale Sayers' signature and a bunch of other Hall of Famers, this thing could be worth a lot of money. So what'd you want to do with it, man?
Sell it.
Any particular amount you're looking for?
Just from what I've seen on the internet and what I put on it was $10,000.
You know, here are some of the concerns I have with it. We have a picture there, obviously, but we have absolutely no authentication for the ball. Do you mind if I give a buddy of mine a call? He can kind of appraise it.
Sure, that's fine with me.
All right, man, I'll give him a call.
All right, thank you. There's no way that these can be fake because my uncle received the ball from Ronnie Bull, a player on the Chicago Bears at the time. So, yeah, I feel good. I feel very good about it.
1967 Bears, not their greatest year, but...
No other team in the NFL has more wins than the Chicago Bears. The 1967 season was absolutely huge, but it wasn't because of their record. They barely had a winning season, but that was the last year of an era for them. Coach George Halas, after 40 years, that was his last year coaching. The 1967 squad also had some marquee players in Dick Butkus, Gale Sayers, and what became Brian Piccolo as well. The Chicago Bears are one of the two oldest teams who are still playing in the NFL, and as far as fan bases go, they have one of the most loyal fan bases of any team out there. What concerns do you have?
There's a lot of signatures on this ball. Plus, I don't know what to price it as because they're relatively famous players.
Absolutely.
And as we all know, Brian Piccolo isn't around anymore.
All right, so right here, first off the bat, we have Gale Sayers. He went to the Pro Bowl 5 consecutive years, had 2 rushing titles, and is the youngest guy ever to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. From there, we go on to Dick Butkus, who's in the Hall of Fame as well. Right in the middle, George Halas. Legendary coach, probably one of the most influential and important people in football history. Now, to the left of his name, right here we have Brian Piccolo, who at this time he was just a backup to Gale Sayers. But over time, he would become immortal thanks largely to Brian Song, the movie, which makes him, of everybody on this whole ball, the most important signature on here. Brian Piccolo came to the Chicago Bears as a backup to Gale Sayers. Fortunately, he had a run-in with cancer and passed away at the age of 26. Brian Song came out in the early 70s, and he became an instant phenomenon amongst fans. Now, if we were dealing with an official ball, mint condition signatures, we'd be talking several $1,000s. Now, looking at some of the signatures, we have to determine whether or not these are even authentic ones. With George Halas, the 2 key characteristics are the G in George and the H in Halas. These signatures are very difficult to fake. And it's the same thing on Dick Butkus. I mean, his D almost looks like an N. A lot of people say, hey, who's this guy, Nick Butkus? But it's got a very distinct signature. So those signatures, they're 100% spot on, exactly what I want to see in a 1967 ball. Now, the other signatures, you really got to focus on the characteristics of the autograph compared against other ones that have been proven to be authentic. And if we compare a Brian Piccolo signature here to the one on the football, primarily in the B, how it forms, and how at the end here, the L and the O dips off, these are contrasting signatures and very typical for what you see in a clubhouse signature. They were signed by somebody else other than the athlete.
What about the Gale Sayers?
Gale Sayers, the signatures I'm familiar with, it's a very robust, full letter G. This one just isn't characteristic of other Gale Sayers I've seen from the late part of the 1960s. So the Sayers, like the Piccolo, in my opinion, these are clubhouse autographs. This is very common, and all it really is, somebody knows the signature and does their best interpretation of it to try to make it look as authentic as possible.
I never heard of that before, and here I had the ball for 45 years. I thought all those signatures are legit on that ball.
It still has authentic autographs. George Halas and Dick Butkus, that's two solid Hall of Famers, and are always gonna have value. Considering the kind of ball it's on, which ones are real versus which ones are clubhouse, you're looking at maybe tops $1,000.
That's a big difference.
Right. Jeremy, man, I appreciate you coming in.
Anytime, Corey.
All right, see you later.
Sadly, in sports memorabilia, it's a part of my job to have to break people's hearts sometimes. I will stand behind my opinion in that these are clubhouse signatures.
All right, man, so you heard my guy. He says it's worth probably around 1,000. I mean, I got a feeling this is gonna sit around for years. I'd offer you around $100 for it.
So I'll just keep holding on to it.
Right on, man, appreciate it.
I feel pretty let down. I think clubhouse signatures are very deceitful. I'd like to meet the people that do that and give them a piece of my mind. Does somebody want to buy football?
What do we got?
Well, I have Bucky Dent's Cleats from the famous 1978 tiebreaker game between the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Hell yeah.
Bucky Dent.
Aha, yes, that's the one.
I'm definitely interested.
In that 1978 game, the Red Sox thought they had it won, and here comes Bucky Dent, and he hit one of the top home runs in baseball history to knock the Red Sox out of the playoffs. The least I'll take is $3,000.
I mean, this is like one of the most famous games of all time. You have the Yankees and the Red Sox playing in a one-game playoff to make the playoffs. Out of nowhere, here comes Bucky Dent, hits a 3-run home run and knocks them out of the single-game playoff. So Bucky Dent was an average batter at best.
He hit 40 home runs in his entire 12-year career. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
This is the only one I remember.
That's exactly it.
So show me the cleats.
Well, they still have dirt caked into them from Fenway Park. Also, it's got his number on there, 20.
How'd you get these?
Well, my husband's uncle was able to obtain these cleats from a charity auction that year, and part of the auction item is the picture. He wrote, "Good luck in my home run shoes."
Did they give him any other kind of paperwork?
You know, they don't have any records of the auction.
Sports memorabilia is great, but stuff related to major moments in sports history are pretty much priceless. If these are legit, they're a big deal. Any idea what you're looking to get out of them?
Yeah, I'm thinking 6,000.
You know, here's my concerns. I wish you had a little bit more than what I'm looking at here. I mean, you would think if he was auctioning off his home run shoes, he would have at least signed in the same color ink. You know, I got a buddy that deals in this stuff all the time. You mind if I give him a call and have him come down?
Oh, that'd be great. I'm absolutely confident that these are the shoes. That being said, I'm a little nervous because I'm not sure what he'll say they're worth.
What I love about these shoes is they just scream the curse of the Bambino. When the Yankees started the season, they were quickly falling out of contention. Even at one point, they were like 14 games behind Boston. And by the end of the year, they actually tied Boston and forced the one-game playoff. So by the 7th inning, the Red Sox fans, they could already see themselves playing the Royals in the ALCS. They were up 2-0. Well, then all of a sudden, Bucky Dent's up next. Well, who knew the little light-hitting shortstop would end up crushing a home run? The Yankees won 5-4, and Bucky Dent's home run is one of the most important moments in baseball history. So if these are actually the shoes that he wore in 1978 when he hit that home run, we'd be looking around $20,000 or $25,000.
Great.
So is that a Bucky Dent signature?
We have two different colors of ink. The top portion is his handwriting. The bottom is just a copy of his signature printed on the paper.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like he wrote the note, but he didn't sign it. Can you authenticate the shoes?
All right, so we do have a pair of Adidas size 8.5 shoes with the number 20 marked on the back. Now, when Bucky Dent came to the Yankees in '77, he did change his number from 30 to 20, and he also did wear size 8.5. Specifically, Bucky Dent wore the MVP model of Adidas, which if you look right here above the stripe, it's hard to see, but it does say MVP on it.
Okay.
What I can tell you about these shoes, these are absolutely authentic, game-worn Bucky Dent shoes.
Oh, wow.
The value, as is, you're looking around $300 or $400.
Oh, man. Why such a big swing?
Well, in order to get $20,000 or $25,000, we would need a lot more proof that these are, in fact, the shoes he wore October 2nd when he hit that home run.
Why would he write, "Good luck with my home run shoes"?
The problem is there's nothing saying that these shoes are the home run shoes. You have a photo and a pair of shoes and no common denominator.
Well, I respect your opinion.
I appreciate you coming down, man. Thank you.
See you later.
I have to admit, I'm disappointed in what he said because I feel like you guys could get these authenticated and make that $25,000 easily.
And I will right now. I'll buy them off you for $300, and I'll go out and I'll do all the legwork and get them authenticated, and I'll sell them for $25,000.
No way. You can't meet me somewhere down the middle of the road there. I'll come down to 4,000.
You'll go down to 4,000.
Yes.
All right, and I'll go up to 400.
Well, fair enough. Then I'll take him home with me.
All right?
All right. Thanks
a lot.
so much. I was pretty disappointed when he said $300 to $400. I absolutely think I have enough proof based on the evidence.
What do we have here?
This is a tire from Dale Earnhardt's car, signed by Dale Earnhardt.
I hope you never worked for his pit crew.
No, I did not.
You're a little slow bringing it in.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I'm here at the pawn shop today to sell my autographed Dale Earnhardt tire. I've had it long enough, and I'm hoping to get $1,500 for that tire.
So where did you get it?
My wife bought it for me for a birthday present at a sports memorabilia shop.
Okay.
And then after Earnhardt won his Daytona 500 in 1998, I figured the tire needed a signature. So I sent it off to him, and he signed it and sent it back to me.
Dale Earnhardt is probably the best NASCAR racer to ever live. This guy was a badass. He wouldn't wear a full-face helmet. He wouldn't wear neck restraints. And you're talking about a guy also that died blocking so his kid could win a race. Dale Earnhardt's NASCAR accomplishments are legendary. The guy won 76 races, 7 Winston Cup championships, and the Daytona 500. I mean, you gotta be pretty badass to earn a nickname the Intimidator. Now, how do we know this was on Dale Earnhardt's car?
The fact that it had all the right markings on it. It says save number 3 on the side, because these all go back to Goodyear.
What's the LR8 mean?
That's left rear, and I believe it's the 8th set for that tire. And when my wife got the tire, it came with this.
The problem I have with certificates like that, anybody can make them. All you got to do is whip out the home computer, get some fancy paper, print these out, and just claim they're all from Dale Earnhardt's car.
I checked with Goodyear about the tire, and they were able to back up the certificate that this is from 1997, used on the Winston Cup circuit in NASCAR.
All right. Did you get any paperwork on the signature?
No, they just shipped it back to me.
Okay. So I'm assuming you want to sell it?
Yes, I do.
How much are you looking to get out of it?
$1,500.
Not out of the realm of possibility. My big concern is that Dale Earnhardt signature. Unfortunately, in sports memorabilia, there are a lot of fakes. One of the biggest names in NASCAR is Dale Earnhardt. And if this tire is authentic, I want it. So let me call my buddy up. He'll check out the signature. We'll see what we got. And if everything checks out, I'm sure it'll sell.
Sounds good.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm 100% positive that this is an authentic signature. I'm sure he'll find that it's authentic also.
How you doing, guys?
Doing well.
Whenever the guys have a problem with signatures, they always give me a call to play it safe.
It's on a tire.
A racing tire, too, huh?
Yeah.
Well, as you know, Dale Earnhardt has had the most amazing career. He had over 400 top 10 finishes. He was also Rookie of the Year, and of course, it was pretty tragic about his death. But if there was anything good to come out of it, there was a lot of safety features that now they force the drivers to do, and the safety record is much better these days. Dale Earnhardt's got 7 overall championships, and his signature is rare. In racing, his signature is probably one of the most valuable. All right, let's take a look. Well, it's written with a gold felt tip pen. He always puts the first name Dale on top, and then the Earnhardt will be on the bottom, which occurs here. His capital D and his L are usually similar in shape. Now, with regard to the Earnhardt and the capital E, you see the bottom's flat, it swings up. A lot of the patterns look appropriate, but I don't know. If you put everything together, well, somebody signed this, but it wasn't Dale Earnhardt.
Oh. Absolutely positive?
Absolutely positive, yeah.
Signing on a tire, I imagine, is more difficult than a piece of paper, so could he screwed up the signature, or?
It would be, but in this particular case, you can see how he could rest his wrist, so it would be very similar to a piece of paper. I don't think it would affect him much at all. The Earnhardt should be over in the middle. You can see how it's so far to the left. And the capital E, this should be coming down much further and then hooking up toward the capital D. He's added his number, which he hasn't done before that I've seen. So, you know, you've got like 3 major problems right there alone.
Okay. Well, thanks, Drew.
Well, I never like to give people bad news, but I'm here to tell the truth, and that's what I did.
I'm sorry, but it does happen.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for bringing it in.
I'm really disappointed that it wasn't the authentic signature from Dale Earnhardt. Lost a little faith in NASCAR today.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Doing good. What do we got here?
Well, what I have here is the holy grail of all championship rings, the 2004 Boston Red Sox World Series ring.
No way.
The ring belonged to a Red Sox player, Brandon Puffer, who was a relief pitcher. I'm hoping to get $89,000. The least I'd be willing to take, $65,000. I'd like to sell the ring today just to free up some money and maybe put it on a down payment for a house.
So where in the world did you get this?
I came across it through a sports memorabilia dealer in Boston.
So I take it you're from the Massachusetts area?
Oh, yeah. Can you tell by the accent?
Yeah. Do you mind if I take it out?
No, not at all, please.
Yeah, this is the quintessential screw baseball. I mean, Boston sports area sports thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, this is when they, you know, everybody pretty much said, you know, the curse was alive and well, and they were going to get swept by the Yankees. And lo and behold, they came back from being 0-3 in the series, and then ended up sweeping the Cardinals, right?
Yes, they did. It made the 2004 title just so sweet, absolutely fabulous.
So what could you tell me about the ring, man?
The ring belonged to Brandon Puffer.
Okay.
I know that it's one of 51 player rings.
I mean, the ring is awesome. This is greatest comeback in history, 2004. All the diamonds are real. And they made it out of 18 karat. That's rare for a sports ring.
Yes.
Generally, they're 10. How much do you want for the ring?
Well, I'd like $89,000 for it. And I'll tell you where I came up with that number. Scott Williamson, an unknown compared to Puffer. His ring sold for $89,000 online.
Okay. Everyone loves a good underdog story, and the 2004 Red Sox definitely fit that description. It was an epic moment for Boston sports fans, but there's a little bit more to this ring than meets the eye. Typically on something like this, I'd offer you around 60 grand. You have one huge problem with this ring.
And that is what?
That it's a Brandon Puffer ring. And this guy has quite the reputation. He was sent to prison for intent of sexual assault, a felony. Right there, that is gonna take the value to this ring to less than I would ever pay.
Well, let me give you my argument. It's still a player's ring. I look at it as, all right, here's a guy. Obviously, he had his off-field problems, but when I put on his ring, I feel, wow, this guy, he's turning his life around. He's doing the right thing.
Isn't he still in prison?
That, I don't know.
Yeah, he gets out in 2014. You know, buddy, at the end of the day, if this had anybody else's name on it, any unknown player that I'd never heard of in my entire life, I would offer you 60 grand for that ring. It's just that ring right there is probably the one Red Sox rings from '04 that's not worth any money to me.
You've got to ask yourself, when is a 2004 player's ring going to come back into the shop?
it'll probably be a while, and it may never. But it's a chance I'm willing to take. Have a good day. Thanks for bringing it in. It was really cool to see.
I completely, respectfully disagree with his opinion. The name, to me, is irrelevant. That was a player's ring, and I think he let it slip through his fingers.
I've got a letter from Coach Knute Rockne, former Notre Dame athletic director.
Win one for the Gipper, right?
You bet.
That was a time where you had professional college athletes, that, you know, guys that were paid by Notre Dame just to play football.
Wasn't like college football today. Well, sort of maybe like college football today.
Yeah. I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell my letter that was signed by the most famous Notre Dame football coach, Knute Rockne. I've had it appraised at $5,000. I'd be willing to go $4,000, maybe $3,500 to get it sold.
Where did you get this thing?
Well, my grandfather, he's who the letter was addressed to, he had a project in elementary school to write to a famous person, try to get a response. And this is the response that he got.
Knute Rockne, he's the football coach that, you know, football coaches look up to. I mean, God, this is the guy that made the forward pass in football popular. He had 5 undefeated seasons without even a tie. I mean, the win one for the Gipper speech is still being talked about today.
Well, he's part of the reason football is football today. He made it extremely popular. Knute Rockne is one of the greatest coaches ever. His strategies and tactics changed the way football was played and made it a national obsession.
A couple things I think are interesting about the letter. Talks about the effects of tobacco on athletes.
So your grandfather wrote a letter to Knute Rockne about athletes and cigarette smoking.
That's right. I don't think the science was really out there as far as what kind of effect it had on athletes.
Dear Edward, it has been my experience that tobacco slows up the reflexes of athletes and does nothing constructive. Any advertisement to the effect that smoking cigarettes helps an athlete is a falsehood. Yours truly, Knute Rockne. Yeah, I mean, everyone knew cigarettes were bad for you.
Yeah, duh.
Even back then. But remember, you had really powerful interests who did not want that in the newspapers or on the radio at the time.
The other thing I think is really interesting, if you'll note the date on there, it's March 13, 1931. So 18 days after the date of this letter, he died. So this has to be one of the last things Coach Rockne ever signed.
I mean, my big concern is whether or not he actually signed it. I mean, it was real common back in the day. People who were famous, they would get all these letters in from people, everyone wanting autographs, and they generally assign somebody to sign everything for them. Let me get my guy down here just to make sure this is an authentic signature of Knute Rockne. Because if it's signed by a secretary, I don't want it at all.
That sounds great.
All right, I'll be right back.
Thanks. I know it's real. I don't have any doubt that it's real, but it'll be nice to receive some verification of that and get somebody else's expert opinion as to what it's worth as well.
Drew!
What's up, gentlemen?
How you doing, buddy?
All right, good to see you guys. I'm a forensic document examiner, and I love my job. Every day it's a whole new whodunit. Knute Rockne, you were telling me, right?
Yeah.
The legend.
Well, at least I'm thinking it might be him.
You're hoping it's good, right? Okay. What a fascinating life this guy had. He was like pretty much one of the founding fathers of college football. I know that he's only lost like 12 football games in his entire career. I mean, that's unbelievable. I don't see too many of these, so if this thing is authentic, it's going to be worth some money. In the 1930s, actually, college football was the biggest thing there was. Knute Rockne was at the top of his peak, so it's very possible this could be a secretarial, so we're going to have to take a really close look at it to make sure. Now, it is dated March 13th, 1931, so this was right before he died. Appears to be University of Notre Dame letterhead. Does appear to be written with a fountain pen, which is good because ballpoint pens didn't come out until like the mid-40s. So if this was written on ballpoint pen, we know it's bogus,
Yeah.
right? So he tends to write a very distinctive capital R, and there's a type of buckle to the K. Well, if we just take the evidence of the signature itself and, of course, all the other totality of the document, it's dead on. This thing is definitely real.
Great.
All right. Excellent.
So what do you think it's worth?
Now, it is interesting that he is talking about cigarette smoking, and this is years and years and years before the Surgeon General said it was bad for you, so it would be worth more if it was a handwritten letter, okay? I would say retail-wise, $3,000 to $5,000 for a super-duper Notre Dame fan. They'll pay top dollar for something like this.
Excellent, excellent.
You're the best.
Thank you. Take care.
Now that I know the signature is really Knute Rockne's, I really want this thing. College football collectors would go crazy for anything related to him. All right, so how much you looking to get out of it?
I probably want $5,000 for it.
To get that kind of money, you're gonna need to open up a store in Indiana. You have to be realistic. I have to make money off this thing. I'll give you $1,500.
I can imagine a lot of Notre Dame fans come through your store. You know, I think I can go as low as $4,000.
I liked what's in the text. I like that he signed it. It's Knute Rockne, but I gotta take it out of this frame right here because, quite frankly, your frame sucks. Your picture of Knute Rockne sucks. You know, it sits around for a while. If you want $2,000, I'll give you $2,000.
I'm probably looking to get more out of it than that because of the date on it. And I could see going as low as maybe $3,500. I think that's my bottom dollar.
I mean, if I put it on my shelf, I'd take the first $3,000 offer that came along.
$2,000 would be it. It really would.
I don't think I'm gonna get to 2,000. I think it's worth more than 2,000 bucks.
Well, it looks like it's not gonna happen. Okay?
I appreciate you guys.
All right, thanks for coming in.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks.
It sucks we couldn't make a deal. Knute Rockne is a college football legend, and I would have loved to have this item in my store. Hey, can I help you?
I have a Babe Ruth baseball card.
Did you say Babe Ruth candy bar?
Really?
I was hungry.
I came down to the pawn shop today to try to sell my Babe Ruth baseball card. When I found this card, holy moly, I almost crapped my britches. I like to sell it because I would like a new car. Asking $65,000 a day, but the lower I would go, probably about $45,000.
Where did you get this?
I found it in our shed in our backyard.
You just found it in a shed?
It was in a lockbox. It was my grandfather's.
All right, you know, this is Babe Ruth when he was still with the Red Sox. Some people consider the best baseball player ever. I mean, if he wasn't a pitcher at the beginning of his career, he would have probably hit over 1,000 home runs.
Wow. No one knew him as a pitcher.
Yeah, most people don't realize he started off as a pitcher. And most people don't realize what a great pitcher he was. I mean, literally 1 year of pitching, his ERA was 1.75.
Wow.
What happened with Babe Ruth, I believe, is he kept on telling the owner of the Red Sox, I want to be a hitter full-time. I don't want to pitch. I don't want to pitch. And it eventually ended up going to the Yankees.
This got to be the dumbest trade in baseball history.
You know what? That's why they didn't win the World Series for a very long time. It was the curse of the Bambino. Babe Ruth is one of the guys who made baseball America's favorite pastime. His record of 60 homers in a season took over 30 years to break. And his lifetime home run record took even longer. Baseball cards like this were generally sold in cigarette packs. Back in the day, major stars used to endorse cigarettes. Nowadays, they don't do that. Now, this one, I find it a little weird that it's got a newspaper advertisement on the back of it. Do you have an idea what you wanted for it?
$65,000.
$65,000. This is the big thing with a Babe Ruth baseball card.
Right.
They've been faking these things since the 40s and the 50s. They've always been worth money, so they've always been faked. So I'm not gonna say it's real until I have someone else look at it.
That sounds awesome to me.
If it's real, you hit a jackpot. It's extremely rare for authentic Babe Ruth memorabilia to walk into the store. This could be an absolute jackpot, but 65 grand is way too much to risk without getting it checked out first.
What's going on, Rick? Chum,
How you doing?
doing good, man. What do we have?
The Great Bambino?
We got an old Babe Ruth card, man. You gotta be kidding. This is just awesome. I own Ultimate Sports Cards and Memorabilia here in Las Vegas. The guys call me down to the shop anytime a card comes in the shop that they need some help with. In baseball, there's no name bigger than Babe Ruth. By the time he was 19, he signed a minor league contract. The problem was, since he wasn't 21, the owner of the minor league organization had to take custody of him so he could sign the contract. Then his teammates kind of teased him, saying, hey, that's Jack's newest Babe, and that's how the name Babe Ruth came to be.
That's cool.
Then after that, that's when the dumbest move in sports history happened, when he got sold to the Yankees. It's been over 90 years, and I'm telling you, Red Sox fans are still pissed off that the best player in the sport was dealt to finance a Broadway play to a rival, especially.
To finance a Broadway play?
Yeah, the owner of the Red Sox had, I guess, another interest aside from the sport, and it's known as the dumbest move ever to happen in sports. But Babe Ruth items, especially from his playing days, these are pretty much one of the only guarantees in sports memorabilia that always go up. Babe Ruth items, they appeal to any collector. His name is just so important with sports in general, it's an absolute must-have for any sports fan. What you have here is one of Ruth's earliest cards, and it's the very first to ever feature him in his Major League uniform. This is a top 5 must-have for any serious collector. What this is, the Sporting News, they basically had 2 200-card sets that were distributed in their publications every week. On this one, we have the Tribune advertisement, which of the 2 Babe Ruths, this one's the more preferred one. Last time I checked, there might have been maybe 40 or 50 of these known to exist. The highest graded example of this I saw sell for over $200,000 not too long ago.
So is it real?
We're gonna find out right now, man.
All right.
Let's start with condition. It's not mint, but it's not bad. The corners and the edges are actually quite nice. And what's amazing about it, the centering is almost dead on. What we're looking for is we need to analyze the paper stock and just overall feel and texture. Now, as far as value on this, nothing. What we have here is not a real card. The whole texture's off, the coating on the surface, and especially the printing. Even though the technology was pretty weak back then, it was a lot more clear than what it appears on the Babe Ruth card here. So this is without a doubt a reprint. Yeah, fortunately you don't have a winning lottery ticket here, man.
It is what it is.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Hey, well, thanks, man.
Hey, you got it, Rick. Later, chum.
See you later, man.
These days, fake cards are actually more prevalent than ever just because the technology and the means to print them are so available. But that's the nature of the game.
Well, it's a bad day now.
Sorry, man. Well, have a good one, though.
You too. $65,000, that close, but no cigar. You know, I'm just disappointed.
How's that World Series ring treating you?
Good, good. You lost weight, man. You look good.
I'm trying, man. What do we got here?
Program from Super Bowl #1, Packers and Chiefs from 1967.
This could be very valuable.
You know, like my wife's getting sick of all my stuff, so she said either get rid of the stuff or gonna get rid of you.
Sure you're making the right choice?
Back in 1967, my cousin went to the game, and he knows I collect sports memorabilia, so he gave it to me. You know, my wife's just getting sick of all my stuff, so if I don't sell it today, I'll probably just hide it from her, and this way I won't be on her bad side.
World Championship game, AFL versus NFL. We all know it as a Super Bowl, but they hadn't come up with the name Super Bowl yet. This was a big deal when they did this. His name was Hunt. He wanted a franchise of the NFL, and they said no. And he said, well, screw you guys, I'll go start my own league. And he formed the AFL, and they would have, you know, almost like the World Series. The AFL, NFL championship team would meet each other and, you know, decide who was better. Back in the day, college football was way more popular than the NFL. They always called postseason games in college bowl games. So the AFL's founder, Lamar Hunt, jokingly came up with the Super Bowl, and the name actually stuck. You ever had it looked at or anything before?
No one's looked at it. I'm not even sure what the grade is, but all the pages are intact. None of them are torn.
The ads are what's always cool to me, because you just don't see this kind of stuff anymore. Like, what irritates Johnny Unitas? Apparently foot fungus.
I mean, look at the helmet. Look at the uniforms.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot more concussions back then than there is now. So what do you want to do with it?
I want to sell it.
All right, how much are you looking to get?
I think 600's fair. I've seen a few online, and they go anywhere from 500 to 1,000.
Here are my concerns, man. It's not a ring, it's not a signed ball, it's a program, and I just don't know how many are around and what they're worth today. Do you mind if I have a buddy of mine come down and take a look at it?
All right, let's see what he has to say.
All right, let me give him a call.
All right.
Considering over 100 million people watch this game every year, there's not a doubt in my mind that this thing will move quickly. So I'm not gonna let this thing out of my shop before I know what it's worth. And even if I buy it, I'm not sure if I'll sell it. So World Championship game, AFL versus NFL.
Fantastic, man. I mean, this is obviously before they coined the term Super Bowl. And from then on, I mean, football is the American sport these days, and the rest is history. And this thing right here, this is where it all began. I mean, it's a great piece of sports memorabilia. AFL NFL championship game, the first one they had, you know, 50, 60,000 people tuned in, and, you know, tickets were just very reasonable cost. Nowadays, the Super Bowls have become so popular, you know, well over 150 million people can tune in. Commercials are gonna run you $4 million just for a 30-second spot. It's become a national holiday.
You know, I've never even seen one of these. What do you think it's worth?
Well, there's no shortage of these out there. The Coliseum was enormous. They printed quite a bit of these, but finding them in good shape is pretty hard to do. Mind if I take a look at the program?
Sure, go ahead.
I mean, just looking at the cover alone, I mean, it's in pretty good condition. No major scratches on it. Spine overall looks to be in pretty good shape. There's some rounding on the corners down here in the bottom. This is very common on these because they have a 3-page fold-out here. And over the years, it can get worn down. Other than that, I mean, the pages still have great color. I don't see any kind of condition issues with the pages themselves. So as is, you're looking at around $250, $300 bucks.
That seems kind of low. I mean, what if it was in perfect condition? What would it be worth?
Mint condition examples I've seen sell for about $600–700, up to $1,000.
So you don't think a Packers fan would pay $500–600 for it?
Not a Packer fan with any sanity if they have the internet.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, you got it, man. In terms of Super Bowl programs, this is the one you want to have. This one's in decent condition, but it's kind of middle of the road.
I mean, you started off at 600. Jeremy's saying it's worth anywhere from 250 to 300. We'll cut the whole song and dance and negotiate out of it. The most I can pay is $200.
How about I sell it right here to these people for $600?
How about I have one of my security guards throw you out of my store?
I'll let it go for $500, but that's as low as I'll go.
I'll go 200.
$200 is just too low. I might as well just hang on to it.
It's all up to you, my man.
All right.
Offer stands if you change your mind, buddy.
Okay. I'll take it back home and I'll give it to my son, and maybe in 30 years it'll be worth $255.
Hey, how you doing, boss? I have a 1934 USGA Rules of Golf book for sale.
Rules of Golf. So this is what they referred to last year when Tiger had that shady drop?
There you go. What's in this book is basically the rules of golf as they were in 1934. Obviously, the dress codes changed, the equipment's changed, but at that time, that's what they went by when they played the game.
This is pretty cool, man. And, you know, people really do collect golf stuff. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
from famous players, golf
Sure.
clubs and bags go for big money sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
How long have you had this?
Yeah, it's been in my family since before I was born. It was my grandfather's. He was probably about 20 when that came out.
Was he a big golfer?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Amateur.
Oh, so he probably would refer to this often.
Yeah, back then they wore knickers and, you know, steel spikes in their shoes and suit and tie.
A suit and tie?
Oh, yeah, they used to play with jackets and ties.
Golf has been around for hundreds of years, and it makes sense. You ride around in a golf cart while someone else carries your clubs, and you're just chilling with your dudes, and there's a snack cart. Count me in. Let's see here what we got here. Rule number 25, hazards. When a ball lies in or touches a hazard, the club shall not touch the ground, nor shall anything be touched or moved.
That's it.
That's
yeah.
pretty much how a hazard works today.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot that's still the same. The actual playing part of it's probably very close.
So what did you bring it down here for?
I'd like to sell it.
And how much were you looking to get?
I believe it's worth about 400.
400? They actually started coming out with this book in 1908. And
Yeah.
I haven't seen one from 1934.
It's pretty significant. In 34, that's when Augusta National was founded by Bobby Jones.
Well, Augusta's the golf course, but I think the Masters is the tournament played on Augusta, right?
Right.
But there was a lot of these printed by 1934. And as cool as it is, you know, books
Yeah.
aren't really worth much after the first edition, so I'm pretty sure the 1908 is the only one that I'd even be interested in if you had it. You know, if this had the Augusta Club on there, then I'd be like, oh, this is amazing. This is a rule book from Augusta from the first year the course was open. It's a cool piece, man, but I'm just gonna have to pass on it today.
Hey, that's fine. No problem.
Hey,
I
thanks for
appreciate
bringing
you
it in,
taking a look
brother.
at it.
No problem.
All
Take
right.
care.
Have a good one.
It's definitely too bad that that book wasn't worth more. But I'm glad it came through the door today, because it gave me the best idea ever.
You got to understand, Rick, that Lexington is the barbecue capital of the world.
I think there's some towns in Texas that would argue the fact, but I'll go with you on Lexington.
You better.
I got it. I just have this really cool 1934 PGA Golf Tournament rule book. It gave me the best idea ever.
What's that?
Something that'll ease your shoulder and your mind at the same time. And we can all do it.
What's that?
What?
Golf?
We talking real golf? Or are we talking about hitting the ball through the clown's head?
Real golf?
Because swinging a club really hard is going to be great on my shoulder.
Dude, it's not about swinging the club hard. Golf is a game about zen. You can't hurt your shoulder doing this.
It's a lot harder than you think, Chuck. Golf is the most frustrating, evil game on the planet.
You know what? Being outdoors could probably do me some good.
Heck yeah, I'm telling you, dude, you're gonna enjoy this.
You know what? You should bring Theo. I hear he's pretty good.
Maybe he could give us some pointers.
Hey, Chumley, you know that Lexington has some of the best golf courses in the world?
I can't do this.
Yeah, I got stuff to do. Yeah.
You can take the man out of Lexington, Rick, but you can't take Lexington out of the man.
It's all in the hips, chum. It's all in the hips.
I really think you should be out here.
It looks like it's a lot of shoulder work, man.
Since Chum is terrible at golf and I can't play, my dad told me to bring Theo. He's the store's new general manager, and he golfs regularly. So if we bring him, at least we won't look like total idiots.
Yeah, Chum, Theo's looking a lot better than you right here, man.
I'll tell you what, let's make a little bet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. If I come within 30 strokes of Theo, I get the rest of the week off.
Sure, dude. I'm not the slightest bit concerned.
I'm gonna beat you, chum.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
What's up, dude?
How's it going?
I'm good.
Look like you could use a little help.
From who?
I can help you. You're not near as bad as Charles Barkley, so I know I can help you. First of all, you got your foot in the bucket there as you're swinging. You keep your left foot solid on the ground.
Okay.
Swing at about 60% of your effort.
All right, I got this. What'd you say your name was?
I didn't.
All right.
I came along my range here at the golf school, and I saw a couple guys look like they were struggling, one of them in particular, so I figured I better try and help them. Great shot.
Wow.
See, that's pretty good.
I could turn you into a teacher in no time.
Hi, my name's Butch.
Chum Lee.
Chum, nice to meet you.
Have you trained people before?
Yeah, I've trained some guys that have been pretty good. Greg Norman, Tiger Woods, now Phil Mickelson. A few guys.
We got a comedian over here. He claims to have trained Tiger Woods.
How about that one, pal?
Before we take any more lessons, why do you say we get this game started?
Let's do it.
Well, I'll be your caddy then.
Oh, uh-oh.
Make sure he gives you at least one throw. That's a big key in this bet, okay?
Okay.
All right?
Okay,
Now
one
remember-
throw.
Do you agree to that, Theo?
Yes, I do.
You don't think you can throw it very far, huh?
No.
Theo, if I'm your caddy, grab your crap and throw it in the cart. Let's go.
All right, I'm ready.
When you hit a really good one, you walk over to him, you give him one of these. Woo!
Haas, we cannot lose to Chum.
You hit it, and then you go, woo!
There you go.
I'm gonna work on that.
You ready for this, chum?
He's been playing a long time.
Remember, we got the throw.
All right.
The throw's important. You can throw his ball out of bounds. He just doesn't know that. Hooked it a little. Not too bad, though, down the left side.
Did you cough? What was that?
I can't. I had to clear my throat. I couldn't help it.
Okay.
Come on, chum. Just like the range. Nice and smooth. That was pitiful, chum. Chum, all you want to do is get back in the fairway over there. It's all right. We're gaining on it. It's all right, chum. He's in the sand. He's in trouble here. You're all right.
Hopefully.
We're still in good shape. Don't worry about it.
Get over.
Yep. All right, chum. You tend to hit the ball a little to the right, so you want to aim a little left. Good shot, chum.
Damn it.
Got it on the green.
You're the
Way
man, Butch.
Way to go, my man.
All right. Corey's gonna wish he hadn't bet against me. I don't know who this old guy is, but he's already helping my stroke. I think I'll keep him around.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no.
What are you doing, Theo?
I don't want to just run away with it, Haas.
All right, chum. Give me that smooth swing now. Oh, Theo.
Woo! Easy, chum. It's a lot of golf to be played.
Good shot, chum.
Nice.
Even though Chum's playing a lot better than I thought he would, there's no way in hell he's going to be able to beat Theo.
So I think this is a good time for the throw. Just throw it back in the rocks back there.
Remember the agreement, I get one throw.
Right.
We didn't agree whose ball I could throw. I'm gonna exercise my throw right now.
You can't throw my ball.
That was the bet.
Dude.
Have fun, Theo.
Whoa. That wasn't even good etiquette.
No, but you got a bad line now. Let's go.
This is legal, chum. You're happy about this.
You agreed to the bet.
Theo, the only thing I'm happy about is beating you.
Okay.
Theo's 4?
This is Theo's 4th shot from after the throw.
What?
How about this?
Oh, yeah! Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me? All right, well done.
Chum's actually only down by like 28 shots. I can't believe if he sinks this, he wins.
Knock this in. You can handle it.
Make this sauce.
You can handle it, big man. You can handle it. He can handle it.
It's a big shot, Chum.
You better hope he misses this, Theo.
Attaboy, Chum.
The rest of the week off is going to be great, Big Hoss.
Good match, Austin.
Technically, Chum didn't beat Theo. He still lost by 29 strokes, but a bet's a bet, so I guess I'll pay up.
You think I got some potential?
Get over yourself. You got no chance. Let's get out of here.
But you said I could beat Barkley.